from the line of David in fulfillment of God's prophecies in the book of Genesis, chapter 49, verse 10, which states, "The scepter shall not depart from Judah, the line of David, nor a lawgiver from between his feet until Shiloh," that's Christ, "comes. And then it will depart from the line of Judah to the line of Joseph," just as we've been told in verses 22 through 24 of the same chapter. And I'll go ahead and read those verses too, so everybody has them forefront. It says, "Joseph is a fruitful bough, even a fruitful bough by a well, whose branches run over the wall." And that's referring to colonization. "The archers have sorely grieved him, and shot at him, and hated him. But his bow abode in strength, and the arms of his hands were made strong by the hands of the mighty God of Jacob. From there, the tribe of Joseph is the shepherd, the cornerstone of Israel." That is the destiny of the stone, preordained by I Am, and is why, since it was first removed from Bethel by the Israelites and carried through the wilderness on a pole for 40 years with Moses, it has always been known as the Stone of Destiny, which in Gaelic is Leafel. Ireland is known as Innisfail, which means Island of Destiny, for those that didn't know that. Tia Teffy left many prophecies in her autobiography, most of which have been fulfilled in exact and minute detail. The most important one is yet to be fulfilled, and it states that she will, one day very soon, be recovered from her tomb at the hill of Tara, which again is really the hill of the Torah, which means the law. When that happens, the Torah contained in the Ark of the Covenant will once again be reinstituted, bringing peace and prosperity to all of Ireland, both north and south, with the simultaneous inauguration of Christ during his second coming as King of the faithful of Israel. And this will take place upon the real Bethel stone, which is also known as the Leafel, or Stone of Destiny, on the inauguration mound at the hill of Tara on the island of Destiny. But before that can happen, Elizabeth Mountbatten, also known as Elizabeth II, has to be exposed for the fraud that she is, so that everyone can see for themselves that she was crowned on a fake stone, because Yahweh, the I Am, took the real Stone of Destiny away from the tribe of Judah in fulfillment of biblical prophecy. Okay, so that I know that was a lot of background information to cover on the Stone of Destiny and the fact that Elizabeth II wasn't crowned on it, and she's therefore a fraud. But I think it was necessary information to share before we take a look at the events leading up to JAH's arrest and his extradition from Ireland to the UK, which really began with his making of this documentary film, 7/7 Ripple Effect.
Exactly. So there has no one currently then has been coronated on the proper stone.
Correct. And, you know, it's important to keep these things in mind because, you know, if we look at the book of Matthew, chapter 24, where we're told, you know, that, and I could bring it up and read it verbatim, but we're given a sign, a clue as to when we can expect Christ to return, when his second coming would take place. And so people aren't confused. It said the day and the hour only Father knows. But that is referring to Judgment Day, not about the second coming, but when this all will actually come to a final conclusion, and we will all stand before Father and the Master and be judged, which is a day that is coming and will involve everyone on this planet, and everyone really needs to be thinking about that very carefully. So what it says in Matthew is it says, now learn the parable of the fig tree, which is referring to the Jews. The Jews are the fig tree in Scripture. And it says, when his branch is tender and putteth forth leaves, ye shall know that summer is nigh. Okay, summer is the 1,000-year reign of Christ here on earth, which will take place after the 6,000 years of misrule, which is known as winter, but has been going on under Satan. And it says, we will know even that the end is near, even at the doors. Okay? What happened? When did the Jews put forth new leaves? They did that in 1948 when the counterfeit Jewish state of Israel was set up in the Middle East. And that's when Israel, the land of Israel, was taken from the people who are really Israel, which is the British people. The word, in case people aren't familiar with this, and I think most people are that would be listening to this program, the word Brit is not an English word. It is a Hebrew word, and it means covenant. The people of the covenant is what British means. So the British people are the people of the covenant, and when the land of Israel was taken from them in 1948 and given to the counterfeit Jews, that was a significant event, and that's what's really being referred to in Scripture here in Matthew 24, verse 32, when Jesus speaks about the parable of the fig tree. So that's a little extra information there, but it seems like it's appropriate for the subject we're covering.
Absolutely.
Back to the ripple effect for just a moment. Because of the obvious controlled demolition of World Trade Center 1, 2, and 7 on 9/11 in 2001, JAH had been looking into 9/11 for almost 4 years prior to the London bombings. So when the London bombings took place on 7/7/2005, the research commenced that very day. In other words, JAH began gathering information about 7/7 almost immediately. And it's really important to catch these initial reports on these things, because sometimes important clues are only revealed once or twice by the mainstream media, and then they never repeat them again. So after researching 7/7 for almost 2 years, the 7/7 Ripple Effect documentary film was ready to be released to the public on the 5th of November, 2007. Now, I don't know if you recognize the release date, Pastor Dan, but it's from the movie V for Vendetta, which you mentioned in your last program. Remember the 5th of November.
I was just thinking about that.
On the topic of remembering, something else that's very important that we should all remember is what we've been told in Malachi 4, which is remember and return to the law. So I would like to ask everyone to please read Malachi 4 and think very carefully about what it says, because it too references the last day, or the day of judgment, the day that will burn like an oven. For those who haven't seen it, the 7/7 Ripple Effect documentary film uses strictly mainstream media reports surrounding the 7/7/2005 London bombings, and in less than an hour, it ties them together in a way that the common person